Hello, my name is Stephen Ochoa. It's currently December 13th, 2022 for GLG 101 IN. I am doing my slideshow on Mammoth Cave National Park. As you can see here, this is kind of an overhead view of the cave. The Mammoth Cave is actually the world's longest known cave system that we have discovered today. So there are three main types of rocks that can be found in Mammoth Cave, but the first one will be, and most common, would be limestone. Limestone is a sedimentary rock, and the reason why it's so important in this national park is because of its chemical makeup. Its chemical makeup of limestone allows the groundwater to form passages in the rock. The way the limestone got here in the first place was about 330 million years ago. About 330 million years ago, a warm, shallow ocean covered this area, creating the limestone that is seen in this cave today. And some background on how limestone is created is that calcium carbonate minerals and water attached to fossils and other sediments form together from the ocean floor. The next main rock of the three would be shale. Shale is another sedimentary rock that can be found in this national park. The shale that can be found in this national park can be described as a tightly packed and non-porous like limestone. The way the shale that was created in this national park would be by when wet, swampy clays and muds are compressed over millions of years. And to be specific on how it was formed at this national park would be a shallow sea receding, then returning each time again, and each time it would leave shale above the limestone rock, and the main function of this type of rock would be shielding the limestone below from any water or leaks that can occur. The final main rock that can be found in Mammoth Cave is sandstone. And sandstone is another sedimentary rock, and the way that sandstone forms is when small particles of sand, other rocks, and many different types of minerals come together. This rock is formed from a continental crust, unlike the other two main rocks that were formed from the ocean. This type of rock can be found on the ridges of Mammoth Cave National Park. So these main features right here is kind of the most popular thing. That's why people visit Mammoth Cave National Park. And these formations are called speleothems, and the way that these formations form is because the minerals that are in the groundwater slowly drip or flow very slowly through the limestone. The water carrying the minerals from the other areas and now the limestone accumulate on top of each other, forming stalactites and stalagmites, as you can see here. And the reason why these are able to form is very slow moving water or slow dripping, and is not fast enough for the water to wash the minerals away from forming to each other. And since the water isn't washing away, like I said right now, is that these minerals are able to stick to each other and kind of form these stalactites and stalagmites. And since it's slow moving water, they have the time to kind of bond together, and some have been going for so long that they even connected, like this one here. So as you can see here, like in the previous pictures, there's some stalactites and stalagmites, and I'm just showing this again because these are actually still being formed today. And as you can see in this picture is that they are wet, showing that the water is slowly dripping off of them, and the minerals are collecting and kind of making these form even longer. So this is a short YouTube video showing how Mammoth Cave was created.
Question: would you build a website for a major brand with more than 200 million?
And you're going to see that the water is able to flow through the limestone, creating these passages. So that shows that video, and back to the presentation. So in conclusion, Mammoth National Park started to form about 330 million years ago from an ocean that covered this area. From the ocean covering this area, it left a tremendous amount of limestone to be able to form the cave. The reason why the cave was able to form was because of the limestone was able to be eroded to form passages underground. Then a sea would come and go, leaving the rock called shale. And every time the sea came and went in, it left formations of shale to cover the limestones underneath it and ended up protecting the limestone. Finally, the rocks formed around the national park are sandstone, creating the ridges found in the national park. These are still formations being created inside of the cave of this national park by slow moving and dripping water that flows through the limestone. This water allows formations to be made because since it is slow moving, the minerals in the water are able to settle and keep building on top of each other, forming stalactites and stalagmites. This national park would not be here today if it was these different types of rocks formed and reacted with the environment around it. And this is my bibliography using the resources I used. And that concludes